Live.
We can call to order the Thursday, June 4th, 2026 meeting of the Board of Supervisors of McCounty Township. As usual, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, I'd just like to add my own little moment. Tonight is just making sure that as we go about our daily business, that we're remembering that those around us are either celebrating on their own or suffering in silence. We don't know what everyone's going through. It's important to make sure that we are kind and that we are accepting and that we're appreciative every day, not only of what we have, but we are appreciative and respectful of what people are going through around us. So if we can just take a minute before we get started, not just to be thankful for who we are and where we are, but to put some, kind juju into the world for those around us who may be silently struggling with things, so that we can all find a better day tomorrow. And with that, we can move on to item number 2, which are additions or deletions to the agenda. Meredith.
Yes, there are 2 items. One is a deletion, and it is motion B, authorizing the extension of time for the recording of docket 2347, 110 PA Route 100 warehouse. They no longer need the extension. They have met their recording requirements. We have one addition for docket 2338 Twin Ponds that had come through recently for a revised final plan. That site is under construction, and they are here to give us an update on the construction as it relates to the now repealed mixed-use overlay.
Thank you, Meredith. Minutes and financials. I'll make a motion to dispense with the reading of the meeting minutes from May 7th, 2026 general meeting, adopt them as presented, and authorize the payment of the bills for the month of May in the amount of $4,896,524.80. Is there a second for that?
I can second that.
Thank you, Sonny. Any questions, conversation? We can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion as read, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, gentlemen. We don't have any presentations, so we're up to the amended and updated discussion section with docket 2388, the Twin Ponds subdivision. So I think we have some folks here for that.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Tom Nahilla, law firm of Barley Snyder. We were here we've been having a little bit of a discussion of that mixed use. That mixed use is to be 70% residential, 30% commercial retail space. So we came here tonight to kind of give you a little bit of update of where we are on the construction side of it, and to the extent we can or need to have a discussion of where we are on marketing the commercial/retail side. So I brought Jamie Groff with me. Jamie is with the developer. He's very up to date on the construction and where we are. So I'm going to have him come up, kind of give you a kind of an update of where that construction lies and where we are on building permits, and we can give you an update also on the marketing of the commercial piece.
Sure. Thank you.
Jamie?
Good evening. I'm Jamie Groff, representative for Vanguard Development Group, which is the developer. I'm the senior designer there. I'm the one that's submitting the building permits. We have all but I believe it's the last 4 buildings that are not constructed. So all the other ones are under construction currently. However, all the building permits have been submitted. As Mr. Nahilla said, we have engaged a commercial realtor, Bennett Williams, to market the commercial property. They have we've been in contact with them, and they just let us know before Memorial Day they were at the ICCS event in Vegas. They were talking to 2 daycare franchises out there, and then we got an email from them today as well that they are in talks with another national daycare operator. So we have those talks are in the works, and we I've also let them know that we want to, first and foremost, that we want a daycare organization to go in there, but we also want them to be open to, we allowed them to open up to other uses that are permitted in the ordinance for that commercial property. And yeah, that being said, as a developer, we like to focus on the experience of the residents that will be living there and the visitors that come. So it would be in our best interest to develop that commercial site as soon as possible, because residents would not, it's not going to be, it's going to be an eyesore for the residents that are living on the residential portion of the property. And so our MO at the development company here at Vanguard is always to give the best experience to our residents. So that would be our intention, would be to finish that commercial property as soon as we can. And then also, just in stopping with, if we would stop the residential portion of construction, that would also be not in the best interest of our tenants, just because the construction would stop and then it would start up again, and we wouldn't be able to do the final paving or final seeding for grass and final planting. So they'd be living in a construction zone until the commercial property is completed. So and also then there's the the DEP aspect, where we wouldn't be able to do the final conversions of the stormwater basins as well until construction of the residential portion is completed. So
So we're kind of taking it in phases. We are doing the residential side as we go forward. We are heavily marketing the commercial retail side, listed with a broker. Again, they went out to, if you're not familiar with the ICSC event, that's a big national event. The biggest part of that is in Vegas. That's about 45,000 attendees. Our broker is heavily out there kind of marketing this piece. We have some interest in it. We just haven't solidified it yet. So we don't want to build a building without having a user. That wouldn't make a whole lot of sense until we get there. But we are marketing it as shown on the land development plan as a daycare center. Your ordinance, I know this ordinance has been repealed, but we're of course under that. Your ordinance does provide for other uses, which we have explained to our brokers. Again, favoring a daycare center open to other uses. But at this time, we don't have it under contract, unfortunately. So we don't want to we don't want to pull a building permit and build a building that's unused. In the event that we try to build a daycare center and one of your other uses is a bank comes in, we're then kind of useless. So that's a little bit of where we are right now, and we're fully mobilized on the residential side. So to kind of stop that midstream doesn't make a whole lot of sense with there. So that's a little bit of the update, but we're happy to answer questions.
Sammy?
Yeah, I guess I'll start. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I think, I guess my concern is this was always intended to be a mixed use, commercial, residential. And what concerns me is I understand you're marketing it, but there's like no definitive schedule as to when we're going to get here. And I think I can speak for all of us, is that we just don't want it to be in a perpetual state of, unknown in your marketing and whatnot. I mean, and what guarantees can you provide us that won't happen? Because that's I guess that's our biggest concern, is that it just sits there and it's 10 years later and you still this is zoned for commercial, but nothing's ever come.
Yeah, I don't know what guarantees we can give you. The idea here is to find a commercial user. And all we can do is try to market that, find that commercial user that's out there. As the developer, as the owner of the property, they have no burning desire either to let 30% of that property become unused. So the intent there is to try to find, to maximize returns to the developer and to fully develop the property. So the intent there is to definitely try to find a user. Commercial, unfortunately, is not as hot of a market as residential is. So right now we have the use for the residential. We just don't have the use for the commercial. But we are fully intent to again find that user.
Yeah, I guess that's just that's the concern, and your answer wasn't too comforting, and that just there is no guarantee. And And I thought that we heard in the last meeting that even if you can't find it, you'll build it yourself. I'm not sure who said that, but it was one of the representatives that said
I
that.
think it was Bob Meredith that said that.
Yeah, and so that's what we heard in the last time you were here. So that type of, if we could put a schedule on that, saying, hey, if it goes beyond X months, we're just going to go ahead and build it ourselves. And don't get me wrong, I don't want a vacant building either, but I mean, if you have something that's already gone through the permitting process and everything's ready to go, it seems to me those projects move faster because they don't have to wait. They can go in right away. And maybe, if you could give us if you could give me, I can't speak for everyone else, but if you can give me some assurances that this isn't going to just languish forever, and that there is some, there's there's a pot of gold behind after the a rainbow here somewhere, and we don't have to wait too long. That would go a long way. It would be something I'd be looking for, but I'd be looking for it in terms of more of a written agreement that says that it's not going to just sit there and languish.
I don't think we can enter into that agreement. We're not going to be able to get financing to build a building that has no use. And going to a bank right now to say, hey, I'm going to do a build to suit for a use that we don't even have, we're never going to get financing for that. So to go out and borrow, we just wouldn't be able to get $500,000 to $1 million to build a building that's going to end up vacant. I think we will do our best to market this. We know that 30% of that building that property needs to be occupied by a commercial retail use, and we're going to try to do that. But I don't think we can just say in 2 years or a year, if that's not there, we'll build a building.
Can I ask if the permits are issued immediately, what's the expectation of the finished build on the residential side?
I would think probably within the next year, we'd be finishing up the.
So you think
last building.
12 months from today,
Yeah,
roughly?
yeah. I'm thinking like that. I'm not the project manager. But
Listen,
yeah.
I'm not looking for you to sign an
Yeah,
affidavit today. So what my suggestion would be theoretically to Sonny's concerns and to some of the township concerns is maybe what we do is put you on the discussion agenda for 6 months from now
Happy
to do another update to see where we are, see what the status is, see what, if anything, the township can do to help push some advertisement if it needs to be. And that keep you on that sort of 6-month hamster wheel until we, that's the best way we can keep your feet to the fire is keep making you tell us we're trying, and we can keep asking, prove it, and you can keep proving it. But a bridge to nowhere and a building for no one is not really a good expenditure of money. So
Sure.
what I would ask is for scheduling purposes, if you'll agree, it's June 6th. Let's have you back for our December meeting to have the same conversation. Hopefully we're advanced on where we are, and hopefully we got a user and we're rocking and rolling, and we don't have to come back again. But if you're comfortable with that, I'm comfortable with that from where we are.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, as we get market reports from Bennett Williams, we'll share them.
Yep. All right.
Along the way, and just let you know kind of where we are on hits and those types of things.
Okay. So Jazz and Meredith, I guess we'll put them on a 6-month discussion agenda. So the December agenda, and Tom will reach out to you somewhere, or Andrew or someone will reach out to you, and we'll get that scheduled ahead.
We'll try to reach out to you beforehand.
I mean,
And let you know where
I'll get it.
I mean, nobody wants to let this thing drag on forever. You don't, I don't, but the board, I'm sure the board does, and we don't. There's other things we like rather be doing than that. But yeah, you understand where we're coming from. I mean, you've got to come back with something better than hey, I don't have anything, because you're gonna if this doesn't come up. I mean, that was the offer was made, is that we'll build and operate it ourselves. What was stated. So I went on that meeting. I took it at face value, and now a month later, I'm hearing something totally different. So you know where I'm going with it.
All right. So
and we do understand the concern that we are not paying any attention to this. This is important to us too.
all right.
We
So
don't want to see 30% of that problem.
So we'll ping this back for the December meeting. Hopefully we'll have an update before that, because if you've got a user and you let us know and you pull a permit for it, we don't need to have that again. But we'll budget it out for a December meeting to talk to you again. Appreciate you coming tonight and being honest with us about it and being willing to continue and engage.
In the meantime, we can move forward with the
Yeah.
residential.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
guys. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
We don't have any ordinances to consider tonight, so we're at Section 7 of the agenda, resolutions. First up is Resolution 2026-31, docket 2409, Project Kennedy, 8810 to 9802 Main Street, preliminary subdivision land development approval. Meredith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The application proposes to consolidate 6 existing parcels and to construct a pharmaceutical manufacturing facility of nearly 800,000 square feet on approximately 150 acres. The facility includes a series of buildings that will house a visitor center, administrative offices, manufacturing facilities, and an automated storage and retrieval system. The application includes site improvements such as associated parking, stormwater management, landscaping, and utility upgrades. Just a little background, we have been working with the applicant for quite a few months. They've been to the Planning Commission in March and May, but in between, they've been submitting numerous submissions to us to review. So staff and consultants have continually reviewed this application specifically to provide them comments and have them clean their plans. So it's been ongoing for 5 or 6 months now.
Is there a motion? Anybody?
Sure, I guess I can make that motion. Motion to approve resolution number 2026-31, granting preliminary subdivision and land development plan approval to docket number docket number 2409, Project Kennedy, including approval of waiver request 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9, and deferral request 5 and 8, conditioned on the comments found in the staff and township engineering report dated May 28th, 2026, and May 27th, 2026, respectively.
I'll second that. Thank you, Sonny. Ryan.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As Sonny indicated, there are 5 waivers under consideration and 2 deferrals. I'll start with the waivers. First of which is a waiver for the width of 2-way access drives. Because of turning radii and allowing trucks and fire trucks and such, they're exceeding that, and we are recommending approval. Waiver number 2 is to appear before the Board of Supervisors prior to the 30 days after the date of PC approval. Once again, we are in favor of granting that approval. As Meredith indicated, this has been an ongoing review for about 5 months now, where we're constantly receiving things and providing feedback and comment letters. So we're comfortable with that as well. Waiver number 3 has to do with an access drive to the proposed substation. They're just requesting that it's not curbed, and this is a driveway that's going to be utilized 4 or 5 times per year. So it's just a minimal use driveway, so that's fine. Deferral number 5, it has to do with the buffer plantings on the western side of the property. Directly in conflict with the Adams Road interchange. We're in favor of that deferral as well. They shouldn't put in landscape trees and buffers that are going to be torn out by PennDOT's project. So they'll defer till after the interchange is open and then come back in with their proposed landscaping. Waiver number 7 is a standard waiver we see on most land developments. Has to do with showing utilities within 200 feet of the proposed property. They are showing any sewers and storm sewers and sanitary sewers that do impact the project, down the line. But we do not feel they have to show everything else, which would include properties across I-78. So we're in favor of that waiver as well. Deferral number 8 also has to do with the Adams Road interchange. The applicant is proposing a walking path along the frontage of their property. However, to the west of their driveway, they're requesting a deferral of that specific walking trail so that they can see what happens with the Adams Road interchange and then install it accordingly. And then waiver number 9 has to do with also with the substation driveway. They're proposing it within 300 feet of a proposed driveway at the ATOS property that was approved years ago. In our opinion, ATOS will have to redesign that because of the reconfiguration of Main Street and Half Road and Glenlivet anyway. So we're in favor of that waiver as well.
And you'll notice that there are some gaps in the numbering, and that's due to the applicant withdrawing those requests, but we kept the numbering consistent with their letters. So there was went from 3 to 5, 4 was withdrawn. 6 was withdrawn, and 10 was withdrawn by the applicant. If so, if you're looking at their letter, you might wonder what happened to those. They've been withdrawn.
Thank you, Andrew.
I know we have some people from the applicant here tonight to answer some questions. Attorney Schock, it's good to see you again.
You too. Eric Schock, Fitzpatrick, Lenson, Luba, representing the applicant. As we indicated, we appeared at the Planning Commission here seeking approval of the waivers and the preliminary plan. A representative from the user of the building and a couple of our engineers are here. If there are any questions, we can certainly start with a presentation if you'd like of what's going there, or we can take your questions and follow your lead on what you'd like to hear.
I'm good with a presentation. I think that'd be a good way to start.
Sure.
And then we can go from there. I have a couple of questions, but
Okay.
not terrible.
Yep. I will ask the engineer to come up and
All right, sure.
run you through.
It's a major project. We'd love to hear
Sure. I
about
was
it.
going to say, we'll start with a 10,000-foot view
Yeah,
of what's going on.
I'm fine with it. First of all, welcome to Upper Macungie. Thank you. Welcome to our community.
Yep. So right ahead. You're on.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Kissinger with Pannoni Associates. So I am the civil engineer for the project, so I'll try to run this through with you. I'm sure most of you probably already know where the site is and so on, so I'll try to skip through that and just give you some of the better details. Everybody hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. So as mentioned in the previous, as mentioned in the previous slide, the building is about 800,000 square feet, right there in the center of the front. And across the top of our plan here is Old Main Street. I'm sorry, Main Street, Old Route 22. And then on the south side here is 78 Adams Road on the left-hand side, and the new Glenlivet subdivision on the upper corner of that property. So the way we have designed the site is so that there are two main means of egress, and then there's an alternate third. Cars will all come into the property here on the west side of the site, and there will be guard security visitor center through that area. Trucks, 18-wheelers will be coming in from the east side of the property and completely keeping them separate from each other as much as possible. You guys have that up here now. I'm going to put this down then.
Yeah.
Just some of the things to point out on the property. Ample parking throughout both. We have if you look at the building, there's a kind of a distinction between a larger rectangle and then a little bit of a wing. Just to explain what that is, there's an office and administrative role and a lab in that other piece. And then the main production manufacturing side is the larger square. There is a storage facility or a storage section of the building on the south side of that building. And that is what we were receiving zoning variance for the height previously. That is storage facility itself is that only section of the building, though, that would exceed code. You can see there's a large blobs of stormwater throughout the property. We are using a spray irrigation system and been working with Ryan and his crew and your township consultants in order to work through all those details. There is a substation on the far right-hand side, and Ryan alluded to a waiver for it. That blob you see on the right-hand side is a PP&L substation that would be for PP&L's use, and the road that we were referring to is actually for their use to their substation. In terms of utilities, gas will be run to the property. We are working with LCA in terms of overall approvals for their water connections. Sanitary sewer we will be pulling from the new line that was just installed in the bottom east side of the property, southeast corner of the property. So all in all, it's a very large site that we've enjoyed going through it all with Ryan and going through all those details. And I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Okay. I had some questions, and the one I guess is the one we discussed, I think, last meeting too. With another project that we suspected was coming is the waiver number 2. And I'm just trying to understand it a little bit. So maybe is the intent here for waiver 2? This is the scope of the waiver to not have to come, go back to the planning commission for changes, but come right to the board. Is the scope of that I guess maybe I ask Andrew, is that only applied to the preliminary land development, or is that a perpetual thing for the entire process? With all the other reviews?
I believe it's for either preliminary or final. However, we've only seen it for preliminary, I believe. Was the last one preliminary final?
It was preliminary final, but this
So
is only a preliminary
This is only
plan.
preliminary.
So is the intent only to ask this for preliminary, or is it going to be for final as well?
At this point, we're only requesting it for preliminary, and we're presuming we're gonna proceed forward with the plan. We can't predict the future, but at this point, we have no intention of anticipatorily requesting that.
So I guess echoing that, Attorney Schock, it would be okay if we conditioned approval of that waiver so long as it's only for this review, so that if you need a waiver for the 30-day rule for final, you'd have to request that waiver separately from planning.
We fully understand. We would have to go back to planning. We fully expect to go back to planning. for final.
This waiver is the rule in our saldo that requires a 30-day new submission of the plan post approval
Preliminary.
from planning before it comes to us. It's limiting the waiver because we're at preliminary. It's making sure that this is not a waiver for when you get final approval.
We have to
As well.
request it again and
Yep.
get an explanation at that point.
That's
Yeah,
my
At that point,
yeah.
we're not asking for it in advance.
So you-
What we are saying is, we are only asking for it now on the preliminary,
Right.
under the circumstances, because presumably, we hopefully will be able to proceed
Yep.
typically on the other one until we can't and have a
Right.
legitimate reason why.
Okay, so my intent was really to kind of help define the scope, because I wanted to get it on the record as to what you were really asking for. And the only reason why I'm asking is for it is I want some guardrails that some of these items will be addressed in a reasonable amount of time. I understand you're on an accelerated schedule. I think we want to work with you, but we also want to put some guardrails in place so that there's a reasonable safeguards in place that, things will get caught up
Mhm.
and we don't get past our normal process. Does that make sense to you? Is that reasonable?
Absolutely understand and very reasonable. Your staff and consultants have been very helpful in getting through these timelines and so on with us. And as Ryan mentioned, we've been working on these for 5 months, even if we, work in between meetings and so on. So it has been very helpful, and we appreciate it.
Okay, super. Well, that's just great. I just want to welcome you to the township. We're excited to have you, but we want to make sure this is done right. So, I got that, and I had a couple of general comments. And first of all, I wanted to commend you. I was concerned about dark sky compliant lighting on this project. I understand it is. Given the proximity to I-78, I was really concerned about glare off of such a large project, and I understand you are going to be dark sky compliant, and I thank you for that. I get a lot of comments from residents about that, especially around that interchange, because we've got so much going on there. Could you help me? I think the other thing was I read through the packet, especially read through the LVPC discussions. Could you summarize any comments or concerns? I mean, with the traffic impact study, there's some, and maybe this is actually maybe for Ryan, but I know there was in your letter, there was some note of missing information, and the LVPC letter indicated that the Kennedy's project indicated to be 90 truck trips per day, which seemed low based on the ITE estimate for similar manufacturing was higher, and the source for your 90 days was unclear. I'd like to just understand the discrepancies, and if someone could address how where you are with that.
Good evening. My name is Bailey Acapinti. I'm the owner's representative from Eli Lilly. So to answer your question, I want to answer it in 2 ways. So we used Research Triangle Park in North Carolina as our basis because we have a very similar size facility, scope of facility, and product manufactured at that facility. It's also known as Project Arctic. That was provided in our appendix of our traffic impact study as a means of justification for the truck trips. So we're using a facility we are replicating, in so many ways here in the Lehigh Valley, and that was our basis of design and research.
I was really hoping you would answer a question just like that. That was what I was hoping for. I have a lot of my own experiences in manufacturing and large industrial factories, and I assume that's what you did, but I wasn't sure. So that is in my opinion, that's a great answer, because you're using something you already know and you're pretty good at. The concern, I think, too, as you're aware, is we're very sensitive about traffic going through Fogelsville. And I was worried about that. And could you explain what you're planning to do to manage truck and passenger and construction traffic through Fogelsville, both during and after construction and before the Adams Road interchange? I guess when the interchange is up, a lot of issues go away, but that's still a while away. And I wanted to understand a little bit what your plan was.
Sure. So I'm going to couch this, and I am not a traffic engineer, but having read and been part of the traffic impact study and the draft that's going in now for our construction traffic impact study, I'll tell you what we have planned. So from a construction standpoint, we are routing all truck traffic through, like, inside of our subcontracts through Glenlivet Drive West. So we are going to be putting up signage with the township's permission. We have a few mock-ups that we are preparing now to basically make a right, go up to Glenlivet Drive, make the left down, and we have already constructed one of our construction entrances per our DEP and Conservation District application that was approved. So from a construction standpoint, we have a lot of confidence and control in our truck, like manufacturing, construction delivery vendors. And then from an actual labor perspective, we are looking to site near Tillman Avenue, office location, both for administrative staff for Eli Lilly, but also construction labor traffic. So we will have like a bus going to the site for a number of years until we have components of the site built that are equipped to handle staff full time there. It will be a phased construction, so we are trying to take that into account with our what's going to happen in 2028, 2029, 2030, 2030.
I don't want to get to 2030.
Knowing that PennDOT has given us some semblance of a timeline of when they want to start construction on the interchange, but recognizing we can probably add some time to that.
Okay. I mean, another question I had is, I'm somewhat aware that, like, I don't know if you're aware, but there's other plans that are in process right now that might impact parking in that location that you're looking to stage. Are you aware of that? I think there's off of Glenlivet Drive. First of all, are you aware of that? And is there an alternative plan if the parking in that area is not available?
Parking on our site? You mean parking?
The staging area you described, I believe.
So we're looking at a few different options. So one, there'll be office parking, and we are still negotiating a lease, so nothing has been finalized, but we have upwards of 600 parking spaces off-site that would be dedicated as part of that.
Okay,
lease.
so that's a fluid plan, but
Right.
you're hoping to find some parking that you could use as staging and then bus people in.
That's correct. And then at that point, not trying to give a firm timeline because we don't have the lease fully negotiated. We are hoping to have the being able to site construction traffic or parking on site at that time. So we would be looking to utilize off site until we could handle more on site.
Okay, let's talk about on site for a little bit. How many? And I think I saw that in the package somewhere, but there was some concern about having adequate truck parking spaces for staging, as well as maybe long-term or overnight, because obviously there is a problem. We have a problem in the township where if a truck driver is out of hours, you find them in residential neighborhoods. You find them all, areas they don't belong, and so it would behoove everybody if there's a place where they can safely, pull over and rest for the night. That's the reason why I'm asking if there's adequate parking for that.
Yes, and yes, there is. So what we've done is first the entrance where you were to enter towards that guard shack, there is a lay-by area where a couple trucks could stay right there on that side of the guard shack. Additionally, inside the property, all the way up to the building by the stormwater hatch area, there's additional parking spaces there as well.
How many are you planning? Is 8 adequate for 90 truck trips a day?
Yeah, so a lot of the trucks move around, it's deliveries and so on around the property itself. But, Yes, it would be. So the way the code requires is that you have about 4 arriving maybe at a time. And so our entrance is designed to handle those 4 at a time, like between the street and the guard shack itself.
Do you schedule your deliveries so they don't come together, the same hour?
I can come with the answer to that in our next iteration of the traffic impact study or construction traffic impact study. I don't have that.
Okay, I'm just asking I mean, look, I'm not asking you to put in more parking than you need, but I also want to make sure that we resolve any potential staging problems. And I don't know what our, we have like a standard we use is, you think, you said 8 parking spaces?
There is the zoning code requires a certain number of parking spaces per door, and then also there is a code requirement that requires the queue to be, I think it's 4, and so and then that aligns with our traffic.
Does that align
I
with our?
believe so, yes.
Okay, it just seemed a little low to me, and I know there were some comments about having enough, but okay. And so you answered that question, as long as we're comfortable. And lastly, is snow removal and snow scrapers. I mean, in the wintertime, we get snow here. On an average, if you have 90 truck trips, chances are you're going to have a truck or 2 or more leave with snow and ice on the top of the trailer. We don't want that. It's actually not illegal. Do you have somewhere in your plan to put those scrapers in so that there's a way to get the trailers cleaned?
Yes, we would be able to do that. Yes, we will accommodate that.
Okay, it's not on the plan now, but you will promise me you'll get that.
I do.
Promise,
Yeah,
okay.
I do
I think
promise
it's,
you.
I think
Yeah,
it's conditioned in the engineering letter.
Yeah.
Is it on
It's
there?
in our
Okay.
letter, and it should be a plan note moving forward.
All right,
If it's not
perfect.
already.
Those were all my questions. That wasn't too bad, was it?
No, no.
All right, what's up?
Thank you.
My only question is stormwater, large blobs for stormwater. Is that a
Yeah.
technical term?
It was not a technical term. I wish I had that one back.
All right, I'm going to start using that
Yeah.
when we present.
It was the
large
easiest way when you looked at the plan.
stormwater blobs. Julian, you have any questions?
I do not.
Questions or comments from the public about this? Anyone? Any follow-up, Andrew?
I've one follow-up with the waiver request related to the direct submission to the Board of Supervisors. That request was under section 402, which relates to preliminary plans. The same language is repeated in section 502, I believe, which relates to final plans. So the interpretation I have
So the
is
only
it's
waiver we're giving
specific
is
to
preliminary.
preliminary
It could
plans.
only apply to that.
So do we have to did you say there was also final plans in that?
No, it's a different section. That
There's a different, yeah, 22502 relates to final plans, and that same language is in 502, but their request is specific to section.
So we're
402.
okay with it as written?
Correct. They would have to
Only limited
re-reply.
preliminary.
Yeah, and if, I mean, I can't say we won't re-ask, but we're not asking it this.
Not asking today.
Okay, well, I'm hoping by then, guys, you know where I'm going with,
Yeah,
Eric.
we're-
I just want to, I
we're
can't
making
be,
every
keep
effort.
on going and saying, kicking the can, and then, we don't have get sufficient time to review. But we want to try to work with you to because we understand your schedule is pretty tight, but we also want to do it right. All right, thank you so much.
Attorney Shock, anything else?
No.
With that, we can call question, move to vote. All those in favor of the motion to approve resolution 2026-31, granting preliminary subdivision and land development approval to docket 2409, with waiver requests 1, 2, 3, 7, and 9, deferral requests 5 and 8, and conditioned on the township staff and township engineering letters of May 28th and May 27th, 2026, respectively. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We are on to resolution B, which is resolution 2026-32, docket number 2395, 6045 Reppert Lane, final land development plan. Meredith.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This application proposes the construction of 25 townhouse units on an existing vacant parcel. The plan proposes to access the lot from a private driveway extending from the existing cul-de-sac of Reppert Lane. It also includes site improvements such as sidewalk, storm sewer, and a stormwater management facility. The Board of Supervisors had previously approved 3 waivers from sections of the SALDO, and there are 3 additional waivers with this application. And if you recall, this is the plan when it came through previously. They had a condemnation request, which was approved, but then that issue was settled between the applicant the property owner at 6023 Palomino Drive and the township. So the township has surface rights to that area, the stub street of Steeple Chase Lane, and the applicant has subsurface rights for the utilities.
Okay, and make a motion to adopt and approve resolution 2026-32, granting final land development plan approval to docket number 2395 at 6045 Report Lane, including approval of waiver requests 4 and 5, condition on the comment found in the staff and township engineer reports dated May 28, 2026 and May 26, 2026 respectively, and denial of waiver request number 6.
I'll second that. Thank you, Julian. Ryan?
Okay, just to discuss the waivers and our recommendation of a denial. First one has to do within the township roads or township right-of-way or paved areas and in improved areas upon proper installation and compaction of stone and such. We're recommending waiver number 4. It just has to do with stone backfill in certain areas. They're proposing something that's fine from an engineering standpoint. It's just not allowed in your waiver or in your ordinances. So we're okay with that. Number 5 has to do with when the wearing course is placed. Ordinances require bituminous wearing course shall not be constructed until at least 2 years after the base course is completed. They're planning to build this pretty quickly, and we'd prefer that the 2-year waiting period does not happen and that the wearing course goes down upon completion of the townhouses. So we recommend approval of that waiver as well. And then waiver request number 6, which we're recommending denial, has to do with the depth of the sewer lines. It seemed like it was a preference of a builder, and our sanitary engineer was not in favor of it.
Okay. Folks from the applicant? It's good to see you again.
You too. Good evening. John McRoberts from Peacock. With me tonight is Nicole Gallio from Janda Land Company and Phil Malich from Tuscas Homes. As Meredith and Ryan mentioned, we have the review packet dated May 28th. We have no issues with any of the comments in here. There's a handful of I's to dot and T's to cross on the plans. Other than that, there's really nothing more that needs to be done here. Really, the only thing that's changed since you saw this at the preliminary phase is we now know who the builder is and exactly what units they're going to build. So there were some minor variations. The preliminary plan had a rectangle placeholder for the units with dimensions. We now know the exact dimensions of those units, and that's reflected in the final plans that you have.
Did we grow or shrink buildings or capacity, or are we about the same?
It's the exact same number of units. They're within about 2 feet of the,
Shifted around a
the
little
numbers that we had picked initially. Yeah.
bit. Okay.
Some of them, the interior units, a few of them got a little smaller. The end units got a little.
All right. So it's not an issue that the maneuvering of the plan since the last time we saw it is not a growth or a shrinkage issue. It's just a dimensions within the approved number.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Sonny, any questions?
I don't have any questions.
I have one of Ryan. Ryan, the waiver number 4, our book talks about it not being required. Are we granting the waiver just out of abundance of caution here?
I believe that's the township staff's intent, yes.
Okay, because it looks like planning sort of said we don't need the waiver. I think, John, you're just sort of throwing it out there just to be careful and safe at this point, yeah?
When we came to the planning commission, we felt, I think Ryan and I both felt, and Stan was here with the planning commission, we felt that it was needed as we discussed it a little further. I think we got on the same page. There was possibly a miscommunication in the way I wrote the waiver request letter.
Okay,
So they felt it like the waiver was not applicable.
but we're at a better safe than sorry for
because
you
we
at this
have
point.
a waiver request in there. I think
Okay.
staff felt it was better to take some action and just simply move it with an affirmative action.
Mr. Chairman, in my discussions with Meredith, we felt it'd be better to be memorialized in some
Yeah.
aspect rather than just have it hang out there.
Yep.
So that's why
It's just, as I read it and prepared for tonight, it's different. It's different from what I read. So I just want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Correct.
It sounds like the difference, it's a distinction with no difference at this point. We're hoping they don't need the waiver, but if you need it, just in case someone's poking and prying, we're giving it to you.
I think as a matter of procedure, the next project we come in with, we would not request the waiver. We would build it exactly the way we have it.
And then we'll deny it just to make sure that we're inconsistent and being crazy clever. Julian, any questions or concerns?
No, I'm good.
I would like to discuss the waiver 6, just to go on the record. I understand.
Please
you
do.
already,
Yep. Go ahead.
seems like the writing's on the wall, but knowing who the builder is, typically we don't have that information when we come in for the final plan. And we have to design for any builder to come in. They may want gravity service to the basements of their homes. In this case, we happen to be lucky enough to know who the builder is prior to final plan approval. This builder, it's not specific to this builder. The Pidcock Company has roughly 700 residential units that we've built over the last 5 years and that are under construction right now. And all of the national builders do this. They use a grinder pump in the basement rather than the gravity service. It's as far as life cycle cost, the grinder pumps have gotten a little cheaper. The technology has advanced. They now have battery backups. There's not concern over power outages. It does have the benefit that if the main in the street were to back up, having a higher invert at the house is less likely that the sewer is going to back up into somebody's finished basement. Those are the reasons why the builders have moved to that technology. Typically, we don't know who the builder is when we are going through the final plan process, so we don't have the benefit of requesting the waiver. Because we do now, we figured we would request it. It's usually best to have sewer installed at the minimum practical depth. It can become a maintenance issue. If I were maintaining it, I would much rather maintain a 7-foot deep sewer than 10-foot. But I suppose that's at the discretion of the township. You're going to
typically when our staff, especially our public works staff, says they prefer the 10-foot, they prefer to deny a waiver like this for their own maintenance issues. I think we're going to guide ourselves by our staff's recommendation, understanding that industry standards may have moved. Here, we're addressing what our staff wants to do on certain things like that. So I do appreciate the direction you're trying to take, but I think, at least for me, I'm more comfortable listening to my staff tell me that they don't want that. And it doesn't seem like it's a waiver that is mission critical to the project, that without it, it's going to fail. It's just a difference of some dollars and some movement at this point.
Yeah, not at all.
Okay.
Is there anything that you'd like to add, or give it a shot, man?
All right. Give it a shot. I could just tell you they're no fun when they fail. I can tell you firsthand. So I'm actually I'm aligned with our staff on this one.
So any follow-up or questions from anyone else? Public included? Perfect. Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to adopt Resolution 2026-32, granting final land development plan approval to docket 2395, 6045 Rupert Lane, including approval of waivers 4 and 5, condition on the comments of staff and township reports of May 28th and May 26th, and denial of waiver request number 6. Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you very much.
Hopefully, we will not see you at a request for an extension of time. File your final plan.
I hope not.
Ready to roll. Appreciate you. Thank you. We are to Resolution 2026-33, docket 2403, extra lease 5316 and 5324 Oakview Road, the sewer planning modules. Jasmine.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The township has been working with the applicant on the application for their sewer planning module. On June the 2nd, we received a recommendation from HRG and finding it suitable to submit to the PADEP for approval. So we are here before you for approval to submit to the DEP for extra lease.
I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2026-33, approving the submission of a sewage planning module for docket number 2403, the extra lease. Is there a second for that?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Julian. Any issues, questions, Sonny?
None.
Julian?
Same.
Anyone from the audience have questions about the sewer planning module here? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to adopt Resolution 2026-33, approving the submission of a sewage planning module for 2403 extra lease, by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes. Thank you, Jazz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We are on to motions. Motion A, accepting the resignation of S. Marshall and signing of a separation agreement. Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is just a housekeeping item for the board to acknowledge Sergeant Marshall's retirement, resignation, and signing of a separation agreement.
I'll make a motion accepting the resignation of S. Marshall and signing of the separation agreement.
I'll second that. Thank you, Sonny. Questions or concerns? Sonny?
No.
Julian?
Nope.
Anyone from the audience have a question or concern on that? Seeing none, we can move to vote. All those in favor of motion accepting the resignation of Sergeant Marshall and signing of a separation agreement, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That passes. Thank you, Bob. We have removed motion B from the agenda, so we're going to move to motion C. And because of something involved in motion C, I am going to recuse myself from the consideration of this and hand the gavel to Julian for motion C.
Authorizing global extension of time for completion of deferral sidewalk improvements. Meredith.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chairman. If you recall, in January of 2025, the Board of Supervisors called for deferrals for sidewalks that were a part of several land development projects, and they were requesting that they be constructed by June 30th of this year, so at the end of this month. One of them has been completed, the one at Lehigh Valley West. It's the Fairfield Inn on Route 100. So that's not part of this request, but it is a request for the remaining three. So Town Place Suites at Tillman and Memorial Road, Evonic on Hamilton Boulevard, and Fallbrook at Twin Ponds Road. They are making progress. They've gone through engineering reviews, and they are planning on construction soon. Several have been held up because of PennDOT approvals, which does add to the timeline. So we are recommending that they be extended through October 30th of this year, basically at the end of the construction season.
Okay, so I'll make a motion authorizing extension of time limitations for completing deferred sidewalk improvements related to docket number 2197, Town Place Suites, docket number 2271, Evonic, and docket number 2316, Fallbrook, to October 31st, 2026.
Second that. So, Meredith, it sounds like you are relaying some goodwill and that from the company there, and that the delays are not due to their dragging their feet or lacking the motivation to come true to their commitment. Do you want to give some color and confirm my understanding is correct?
I'll let Ryan
Sure.
pitch in here.
Sure. As Meredith indicated, Fairfield Inn has already completed their sidewalk just in the last 3 weeks. Fallbrook has proceeded with rough grading for the sidewalk that was deferred, so they're planning to build that in the next month or so. And Ebonic and Town Place Suites have both been going through the PennDOT approval process. I know Town Place Suites just resubmitted to PennDOT earlier this week. There are not very many outstanding comments from PennDOT, and I anticipate they'll both be getting their approvals this summer, so they can complete the project by October 30th.
So we're feeling good that this new deadline will be solid and
Correct.
should hold.
And
Do we
are-
have?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I was just wondering if we had any representative of this company here.
Representatives for Town Place Suites are here if you'd like to hear from them.
Well, you made the trip. Come tell us about your new sidewalk.
So we're one of the projects that has submitted to PennDOT. We've made our 4th submission this month. We're down to just a handful of items. We really are hoping we'll get approval in July. And then we'll be able to build it. They've been difficult to get through.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for coming to visit. And sorry you had to do 4 rounds of application. I hope this is the last one for you.
Hopefully.
Just one question. Are there any major changes to what was already on the plans? Or
No.
Okay.
Very, very minor things. I think the biggest thing is the stormwater box and trying to get them to approve a box. They have a standard box that they allow, but they don't have a standard top for that box at PennDOT. So that leads to some confusion.
Yeah, it has to do with an inlet box on Tillman Street that has to be replaced as part of this project.
All right. Are there still? I believe there was plans to put like a bus.
Yes,
a bus-
that's in there.
That's still in there,
Yes.
and I think Atlanta, are they putting a shelter in it there as well?
No, not a shelter. It's just the sidewalk to where they drop
Okay.
off.
All right.
Yeah, one of the issues has been that PennDOT has somewhat been opposed to a sidewalk at all heading west across the frontage of their property, and I had to provide 2 different justification statements on behalf of the township indicating that, yes, it is our intention as part of the BZAP to provide better accessibility for bicyclists and pedestrians.
I'm surprised because even we've had some, history back there where there have been some safety concerns and some fatalities. So, all right.
Understood.
That's
Yep.
the reason why I asked, because I
Yeah,
drive by all the time and I see people waiting for the bus, sitting on the grass, sitting, sometimes they leave a chair there just so that they can sit down. I think we can do something better than that. So I'm glad to see that we're planning
Correct.
at least to have a sidewalk there.
Yeah, they're pedestrians up and down Tillman Street.
Yeah, there's a lot.
From
and
Blue Barn all the way out to 100 and beyond.
That would definitely get used.
Yes.
So, all right, thank you.
Questions or comments from the audience? Then we can put this to a vote. Motion authorizing an extension of the time limitation for completing deferred sidewalk improvements related to docket 2197 Town Place Suites, docket 2271 Evanek, and docket 2316 Fallbrook to October 31st, 2026. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I have it. Motion is passed.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Welcome back, Jeff.
Thank you. We are on to motion D, awarding the bid for the fire station site work. Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the first step towards the creation of the new fire station over at the existing police department. Alvin Butts put out the bid. He did get 2 bidders. Both were responsible bidders. The lowest bid was Nice Construction, amount of just over 1.9 million. That is about 7% under the engineer's estimate and the designer's estimate for the project. Company is work for Parkland School District. Alvin Butts also, we do a debrief after the bid. They're fully prepared to handle this job. We recommend them as a qualified bidder. So it's now up to the board to make the decision to move forward and award the first stage of site work.
I'll make a motion to award the fire station site work bid to Nice Construction in the amount of $1,950,554.65.
Second that.
Thank you, Julian. Questions or concerns?
Aye. None.
Julian, anything?
No questions.
I'm good. It's nice that the bids come in under
Underestimate.
the estimate then.
If that holds through the project, that's about a savings of 1.4 million.
That'll work. Any questions or concerns from the public on this? All right. So seeing none, we can call question and move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion awarding the fire station site work bid to Nice Construction in the amount of $1,950,554.65 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let's start building the fire station.
Okay, thank you.
Get out.
Time to go. Settle down, boys. Motion E, authorizing staff to submit paperwork for additional bond funding for capital building projects. Speaking of capital building projects, Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is almost just like a backup. We do have bond money for the construction of both sites. We probably have at least maybe 100 to 120% of total costs out between state legislators, U.S. senators. We have grant applications everywhere. I don't expect to get all that money in grants, but whatever grant money or RCAP funding will get, there's liable to be a delay between when we actually have to pay the bills and then when we get reimbursed for our grant. To be prepared for that, I'd like to be able to have the availability of a cushion, almost like a cash reserve, to front the money, if you will. That would be a little bit more than what the full bond amount was for. So right now, we're not asking to take any extra money. We're just asking staff, Andrew, our consultants, to work and see what our options might be and what it might cost.
Okay. So let me start. Let me do it. I'll make the motion authorizing the township manager and staff to work with PFM and bond counsel to pursue additional financing options for capital building projects.
I'll second that. Thank you, Sonny. Questions?
So, Bob, do we have an idea yet how much we think we're going to need, or is that part of this process?
It's part of the process, Sonny, but I was anticipating maybe looking at 10 million.
It's weird. I was thinking 10 in my head when you said that.
There you go.
That must be like Amazing Crest Lake or something. Okay, so 10 million. All right.
Either
Anyone-
that or you
anyone
probably need to
remember?
get your head examined. If you're thinking like Sonny, you guys need to have something going on here.
Okay.
Well, jokes aside, since we're talking about $10 million, my comment is going to be to thank and congratulate Bob and Michelle for the great skill at planning, anticipation, and looking ahead so that you don't have to put us in a situation of, oops, now we need to react. So you continue to lead with great strength and insight, and very thankful for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Sonny? You good?
That was it.
Any questions from the general public on this issue? Again, we're not borrowing the money. We're just
No, we're not.
exploring our options. All right. We'll call a question and move to vote. All those in favor of the motion authorizing the township manager and staff to work with PFM and bond counsel to pursue additional financing options for capital building projects, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Coming right back at you.
Yep.
Motion F, authorizing HRG to design the Western Interceptor and Diversion Chamber. That sounds like a really bad game show.
You got to taste the sewers today, so you know how exciting that can
Don't
be.
don't tell me I got a taste of the sewer today. I visited the pretreatment plant today. There we go.
So we have a lot of projects going on in Western Lehigh involving pretreatment plant, Sam Adams Brewery. A lot of shuffling of flows, if you will. So what this project is looking at is to look at a design option that can connect Ocean Spray, Bimbo Bakery, part of Sam Adams flow, and new flows that are coming in from across I-78. Right now, it's just a design phase to see. We think this is a viable option that could possibly prevent Ocean Spray from having to put in a pump station and a force main to get to the pretreatment plant. That creates a lot of maintenance issues, not just for them, but also for us. This is probably going to be a much simpler solution, and Steve Walsh, our utility engineer, is the one that came up with it. So we'd like to explore that through the design.
I just want to comment or one clarification. This is not a full design proposal. It's survey, environmental assessment, and some planning.
Right.
Okay.
That's a good point. It is the groundwork to move forward into a full design if it's feasible.
It's more of a feasibility then?
Yes.
You could call
Ish.
it
Kind
that.
of a
Yeah.
feasibility study to connect Ocean Spray, Bimbo, Sam Adams to, is it like is it all gravity?
Potentially.
Potentially all gravity.
But
Okay.
I wouldn't
That's-
call this a feasibility study.
No,
It's a
I would
survey,
call it-
an environmental assessment, and some planning.
It's boots on the ground,
Yeah.
Sonny.
Okay, so it's beyond feasibility.
It's, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's fine.
But
Yeah.
it's not, when you say it's not complete, what's missing?
Well, we're not doing a full design. We're not doing a sewer design, laying out profiles
Right.
and all of that. It's
Okay,
just the groundwork, as Bob said.
the ground. Okay.
So perhaps we need to make sure that the motion authorizing this reflects that it's not survey and design work. It's more
Survey, environmental assessment, and
or initial
planning.
initial planning.
well, when I say survey, I mean boots on the ground topographical survey.
Yeah,
And,
that
and
would
my
be-
interpretation of that is that survey will produce a map, which is a design.
Fair enough. Yes.
Right, but then he's saying it's not designed. So I just
We're-
want to be careful of the words so that we're
Yeah.
not having a backup motion that we get confused on. That I thought we already approved design for 41,000 when we're getting another number altogether at some other point. So survey.
That's
and
why I wanted to clarify.
Survey and environmental
Assessment.
So I'll make a motion to authorize HRG to complete a survey and environmental assessment on the middle and western sanitary sewer interceptors flowing to the LCA pretreatment plant in the amount of $41,200 plus reimbursables. Is that fairly accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a second for that?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Questions or concerns, Sonny?
No, I mean, when you say reimbursables, what is there?
That has to do with it.
I just don't want it.
There's fee. We have to submit to the PHMC. We have to submit to PINDY. There's minor fees associated with that.
Okay, minor fees.
They're not going out to lunch.
You're not buying a car?
No.
Okay. All right. That's all I
It's reimbursables pursuant to our engineering contract that we have with HRG.
Correct.
have. Okay, as long as the attorney's comfortable with that language, I guess I can't argue.
I am.
All right. fair
Julian,
enough.
any questions?
No, I'm good.
I am as well. Anything from the audience on this? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to authorize HRG to complete a survey and environmental assessment of the middle and western sanitary sewer interceptors for $41,200 plus reimbursables, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
Sticking with the two of you, motion G, authorizing HRG to proceed with the Crocs and Citronia Road traffic signal design. Bob.
Yeah, as you're aware, there's a development going in Lower Macungie Township, just across the border from us at the Hamilton crossings. Part of that, the developer has agreed to pay for some of the traffic light improvements to that intersection. We're just looking to get a head start. We feel it's a long process for the design and permitting. HRG has provided the proposal as a township engineer, and we're just looking to move forward with that project.
I'm just waiting for someone. I'm looking at Julian.
Oh, I thought you were, but okay. So I'll make a motion authorizing HRG to complete design and permitting work on the Crux and Centronia Road intersection in the amount of $370,720 with the budget average to be taken from Fund 36 reserves.
I'll second that. Thank you, Julian. Took a while, but thank you anyway. Questions or concerns? Sonny?
No questions.
I'm good as well. Julian, any questions?
No.
And when we say design, we're actually talking about the word design
We
at
are
this point.
survey, design, permitting, stormwater, right of way. We'll assist with right of way acquisition and dedication to PennDOT, which is quite a process.
Right, but this 370 that we're authorizing is not for the cost of all of those things. It's designing and what we need for the. It's not including what
It does not include construction. No,
Does not include
it takes it up to approvals and preparing bid documents, and then that's the end. And then moving beyond that in inspection and such. You know, this is a PennDOT road, Citronia Road, so we're not sure what kind of construction observation they'll have.
Yep.
Sometimes this is a pretty major project, so they might have representation there daily, and you might not need our inspectors quite as much. Now, if PennDOT says we're booked everywhere else, then you're going to want our inspectors out there full time.
And this 370, 720 that we're being asked to authorize, that is theoretically covered by what we're expecting to receive from the developer as part of that development agreement with Lower Macungie.
Correct.
But
They
we're
are moving through the process, so we should. Andrew had an update last couple of weeks that they are getting closer to their first phase.
But we have the funds to cover it until that time that we actually receive those funds.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I had two questions just to clarify. I think I know the answer, but I just want to get
Sure.
on the record, so I'm not trying to. So the when you say complete design and permitting work, it doesn't include the actual permitting fees. It just includes your
Does not
work.
include the permitting fees that the township will have to pay to DEP or PennDOT. Correct.
Right. It's just your coordination of the work that required to get those fees.
That's
right?
correct.
So I just wanted to clarify that. And this is a fixed contract.
It's a fixed fee contract.
Fixed fee contract, not and I can not to exceed or anything. And it's
Correct.
okay. So I just wanted to clarify those things. I don't think it was mentioned, but I wanted to be precise on that. That's all the comments I had.
Audience questions or concerns? Seeing none, we can take that to a vote. All those in favor of the motion authorizing HRG to complete design and permitting work for the Crocs and Citronia Road intersection in the amount of $370,720, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Ryan. Moving to the most favorite part of the agenda items every month, awarding of motion H, the awarding of bid for street resurfacing. Mr. Fest.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Every year we go out for street resurfacing, and for the 2026 year here, Asphalt Maintenance Solution was the lowest bid for all 5 projects that we put out for bid. We did have 2 bids for 3 out of the 5. So, do you want me to read each amount, or you just want me to?
You don't have to.
I love hearing your voice. Please do. Go ahead.
Okay. So, the first bid was for bituminous seal coat, was type 2 slurry seal, and that was an amount of $306,682.58. The second bid was for high performance chip seal, quick sec fog seal. That was for $159,852.79.
Scott, can you come closer to the mic? I'm not sure we're picking you up.
Okay.
maybe stand up. We address the crowd a little bit more,
There we go. We did have two bids for that, and the second bid was actually almost $240,000. So the third was for the polymer modified, that's for crack seal, and that was an amount of $60,445. The fourth one was for double chip seal, and that was for $85,044.75. And the fifth contract was for the ultra thin bonnet wearing course, and that was an amount of $380,081. And they were all, like I said, they were all Asphalt Maintenance Solution LLC.
So you want to make this one?
Yeah,
Or you-
sure. Give me the
or-
long one.
I'll do
Okay.
it then.
No, that's all right. I got you. Motion to award the following 2026 roadway maintenance projects to Asphalt Maintenance Solutions LLC as follows. $306,682.58 for the bituminous seal coat with type 2 slurry seal contract. $159,852.79 for the high performance chip seal quick set fog seal contract. $60,445 for the polymer modified crack seal contract. $85,044.75 for the double chip seal contract, and $380,081 for the ultra thin bond wearing course / single micro surfacing contract.
I'm not sure which one I enjoyed more, Scott's reading or your reading. I appreciate you both.
Good to
I'll
know.
second that motion. Thank you, Sonny. Scott, all these, this is $1 million basically. It's all within budget.
Yes, this is real close to what we budgeted, even with the prices of fuel.
Real close, as in we're a little bit under, or a little bit over.
We are over with, and it's not just that, it's also the painting. If we did a lot of this, there's a lot of striping in these.
Okay, how far over are we?
I would have to double check all that, but it's not out of place. I mean, this is liquid fuels and there is plenty, budget in it.
Okay, so we budgeted a certain amount. We're over it, but we have the money to cover it within our liquid fuels count.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Michelle's verifying your information, which makes me feel better. Any other questions? Audience, any questions? Your last chance. Well, you get another chance to ask Scott some questions. Seeing then we call question and go to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to award the 2026 roadway maintenance projects as
You wanna say that?
previously read,
Okay.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. That's why I get to do that second. Motion I, authorizing the sale and rejection of bids for used township equipment. Scott, we'd like you to stand, please. Introduce yourself and go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, again, last month we sold some equipment. This year we put some more out for bid and look for recommendation to award the 2022 60-inch X-Mark mower to Rick Muth for $5,100. 2013 Ford Taurus Police Interceptor to Peter Christ, an amount of $2,200. A 2002 F-550 to Carl Kresley, an amount of $17,500. 2005 International to Tim Myers in the amount of $18,200. And a 2012 Dodge Charger to Brett Patty in the amount of $1,178.18. But there is three that I want to reject bids for the 21 60-inch mower, that's 21 72-inch mower, and a 22 72-inch mower. They do not meet the minimum bid.
All right, I'll make this motion to authorize the sale of the following used township equipment: a 2022 60-inch X-Marks mower to Rick Muth in the amount of $5,100, a 2013 Ford Taurus to Peter Christ in the amount of $2,200, a 2002 F-550 to Carl Kresley in the amount of $17,500, a 2005 International to Tim Meyer in the amount of $18,200, and a 2012 Dodge Charger to Brett Patty in the amount of $1,178.18, while rejecting the bids received for the 2021 60-inch X-Mark from Elaine Montgomery, the 2021 72-inch X-Mark to Elaine Montgomery, and the 2022 72-inch X-Mark to Elaine Montgomery as rejected bids. Is there a second for that?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think we're all wondering the same thing, Mr. Chris. Is this you?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
I don't know then. I don't know.
I was just thinking maybe there's another Pete Chris.
It's a common name.
Yes, no comment.
Questions or concerns other than the fact that it's Peter Christ buying a 2013 Ford Taurus Interceptor?
That's concerning.
Well, we're stripping that machine down, right?
Gotta double check it.
All right,
We
take
already
the
did.
engine out.
Trust me, it's already stripped.
Any questions or concerns up here?
No, just sorry, Elaine, you didn't get your bids, but other than that,
No, bid more next time.
yeah.
Julian?
I'm good.
Anything from the audience? Seeing none, we can move to vote. All those in favor of the motion to authorize the sale of certain equipment and rejecting the bids for certain others as read, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Scott. Motion J, authorizing the transfer of $50,000 to the Upper Macungie Township Fire and Rescue. Proud owner of a 2013 Ford Taurus Interceptor, Pete Christ.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To support the staffing program, Station 57 has requested an additional $50,000 be transferred over to them for the staffing program. Just a quick update on the staffing program. We've come into the time of when college has ended, so we are starting to pick up staffing on weekends as well. So we hope to see that increase throughout the summer.
I have a question, but I'll make the motion first. Motion to approve the use of recruitment and retention funds to support Upper Macungie Township Fire and Rescue Station 57 staffing program in the amount of $50,000.
I'll second that.
All right, thank you. So I know we've been doing this over the course of time. Do you know offhand for this year, what are we up to? And are we on schedule or to our budget?
No, we're below budget.
Okay, we are.
I have requested a financial statement that I'll be able to include with my packet next month.
Okay, how much are we up to now?
I honestly don't.
You don't know?
I requested a financial statement.
Okay.
But we do have 350 in the budget still.
About halfway? We're about halfway through that. Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Julian, anything?
No.
Questions from the audience? Looking at two guys in the back in particular. How you doing? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to authorize the transfer of $50,000 to the staffing program for Station 57, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pete. Motion K, accepting the agricultural security agreement application for the Christine Muth Whitby property. Bob.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last month, the board actually approved staff and the solicitor to complete all the settlement agreements for this property. Lehigh County Farmland Preservation has asked me to have the board formally adopt it into ag security, accept their application, putting it in ag security. It does go in kind of by default after 6 months, but this is more of a housekeeping. It's a county request, and there's no reason to not provide it.
So I'll make that motion to accept the agricultural security agreement application for Christine Muth Whitby for the Christine Muth Whitby property.
I'll second that. Questions or concerns? So, Julian?
Is that the same family who bought the mower?
No, this would not be.
Okay. Now, since we're talking about common names and whether they're the same people.
Okay. Sonny, anything?
I have no
Anybody?
questions about the mower.
Anybody in the audience have questions about the agricultural security agreement application? Seeing none, we can move to a vote. All those in favor of the motion to accept the agricultural security agreement application for the Christine Muth Whitby property, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. We're up to board and staff reports. The monthly department reports are available at the back of the room, have been posted to the township's website. We'll now go to department managers for specific comments. Michelle.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At our last meeting, I said I would come back with totals from our electronic recycling event. This year, we recycled 23,313 pounds of electronics, the most being televisions at 10,656 pounds.
5 tons of TV.
Yeah.
All right.
10,000.
Okay. That's impressive. Thank you. Pete.
Just like to mention again that our Junior Emergency Services Academy starts on July 13th, and we do have a few openings yet if anyone is interested.
Excellent. Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me. I just want to announce May 15th, we had assessors on site for the police department for our reaccreditation assessment. Our accreditation manager is our office manager, Carrie Deal. And once again, we passed our reaccreditation assessment, so we are officially reaccredited for 3 more years.
Excellent. Congratulations. Good work.
Thank you.
Bob, anything?
Yeah, I'd just like to reinforce that with the construction of the fire station at the police station, police will be creating a new station here. Township staff will be moving to an office on 7540 Windsor Drive, Suite 311. I believe we'll be good to have all of the scheduled June meetings still in this building, but July, for sure, you will look to see us probably meeting at the new community center. All that will be heavily pushed out, social media, website. Legally, we have to advertise in the newspaper for all those changes for all the meeting dates and locations. Don't have the exact date when staff will move out of here, which the most important impact to that is permitting, but it will be mid-June, somewhere between the 15th and the 22nd. Again, we'll get the word out.
I'll just note, I saw firsthand sitting in the building today how hard the staff is working, moving everything around. So kudos to the work that they've done.
Scott's guys.
Scott, I
done a
saw
lot.
some of the work that your guys are doing. Kudos to that. Good luck. Moving is so much fun, especially in the summertime. So thanks for your hard work in advance. I know this is going to be somewhat of a confusing moment mid-June into early July, but we'll get there. And then before you know it, we'll be moving back here, and the police will be going to a new place, and the fire will have a new place, and everyone will be happy.
Mhm.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Jazz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a few things. First and foremost, we had 3 executive sessions on May 8th, May 22nd, and June 4th, and all of these were regarding personnel matters. Just some quick information with the engagement with our website. We are still holding at about 83%, so that has not dropped. It's a number that they say that is not seen, that's held too long, but we have been holding there for about 2 years. So keep on engaging, keep on looking out for information that's being pushed as we can. And I just wanted to mention that during Paws at the Park last weekend, Magu made his first official public appearance, and it was a hit, and there were a lot of people that were happy. So just watch out for him moving forward. And that's all I got.
Thank you, Jazz. And again, thank you for the work you're putting in and the team you're putting in for the stuff that's seen but not always appreciated with the connection with the residents. I know that we've done a lot of work in the last few years to make sure that we're doing a better job and doing it every day. So thank you for what you're doing. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Meredith.
Yeah, a few things. First, the township had advertised a conditional use hearing for tonight for docket 2384, 7660 Imperial Way. It was to consider the conditional use for an auto service station and accessory convenience store, and also for a reduction of parking. That will be rescheduled and re-advertised. I also want to just note something that had a lot of interest from the public was the May 27th zoning hearing board hearing on the data center that was proposed for the Air Products site, and the zoning hearing board voted to deny relief for that application.
Thank you, Meredith. Andrew?
I have nothing to add other than what's been provided in my solicitor's report to the board. However, just to build upon what Meredith stated about the Air Products zoning hearing board meeting with the denial, it is that applicant attorney did not present any testimony, did not provide any evidence. So the board acted on the quote record, which there was not a record built by the applicant. It is anticipated that the applicant will appeal that. So the public and the board and the township should not consider this to be a closed matter and has gone away. But we'll see what happens after that. The applicant had requested a continuance to a later date. The zoning hearing board denied that, which resulted in no record being established. So we'll see where that leads from here.
Thank you for that, Andrew. I appreciate it. Ryan?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our intersection design projects through the Green Light Go program and the Arley program are progressing. We still anticipate bidding this summer for Green Light Go, and we're making a submission to PennDOT for the Arley program in the near future. You know your updates on the police and fire stations. They're progressing well. And just want to make note that I will not be available to attend the July BOS meeting. George White will attend in my stead.
Wow, getting the big wigs coming in, huh?
That's right.
We must be pretty important.
All right, question. So, with respect to the Green Light Go program, what improvements can you anticipate on Tillman when that gets through?
It's mostly equipment and technology upgrades.
Yeah, so no performance improvements,
It's not capacity or striping or anything of that nature.
or just synchronizing of lights, right?
There is some form of that, yes.
But but you don't anticipate any appreciable improvement.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Yeah, there will be improvements to efficiency but when I say there's no capacity improvements, I mean there's no additional lanes or anything of that
Yeah,
nature.
I get that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan. Scott.
Nothing to add, sir.
Thank you, Scott. Ryan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last weekend was a busy weekend for us here with Parks and Rec. On Saturday, we had our first concert series of the summer, leading into Paws in the Park, according to Western Lehigh Chamber. This was the 6th year, and with our collaboration, was their best year yet that they've seen as far as attendance and support. So I anticipate that continuing. Tonight was our 4th Grub and Grivet Grange, the food truck festival. We're averaging about 300 participants a night. You can see the parking lot full with the live music, and it's better attended than it was last year to this point. On June 15th, we kick off our summer camp program. We are currently at 490 participants, which is higher than the past. And we're excited to start that off for this year. And tonight up at Fogelsville, thank you to Pete for allowing us to use the room. We had a staff training session for our Community Lifestyle Center staff, front desk attendants and site leads this evening. So Emily is up there training the staff to get them ready to go. And lastly, just to bring your attention, we were recently awarded a 2025 DCED LSA grant in the amount of $90,140 for Lone Lane Master Plan for the park. Couple that with our 2025 DCNR C2P2 grant for the same project, that puts us in at $140,000 to fully fund that project with grant funding.
Keep up the good work. Not like you don't have a lot to do right now. And the fact that you've kept the weather nice on Thursdays as opposed to last year, kudos. Your staff is doing a wonderful job. Sonny, anything?
No, I don't think
I will note nothing from me either. I just want to thank the staff for the continued work that they're doing. We are juggling 37 balls at a time here with growth and with improvements and with large scale projects and with more on the way. So thank you for what you're doing and all the while moving at the same time. So you're appreciated, even if you don't get told that every day. Thank you. Julian.
I do have some news to share, and due to some unforeseen and regrettable circumstances, I am going to be moving out of Upper Macungie Township in the near future, and therefore need to resign as Township Supervisor. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve, and I wish I could have finished my term, but it's unfortunately not in the cards.
Okay. There's a whole series of things that we have to do based on that. That I don't know if we're necessarily right now ready to push all those out. I know there's some timeframes that we have, Andrew, pursuant to the St. Clair Township Code for resignations, and that we'll handle them in accordance. I guess, do we want to go over those briefly just to have them out?
You just want me to recap those?
Yes, please.
So it's a verbal intention to resign, I guess, sometime in the near future. So a written resignation should be submitted to the township. The township then has 45 days, or the Board of Supervisors has 45 days to accept your resignation. Thereafter, once the resignation is accepted, the vacancy becomes available. The board has 30 days to fill the vacancy. If the board cannot fill the vacancy within that 30-day period, then the vacancy board would be appointed to appoint the vacancy, and the vacancy board consists of the two remaining members, and the vacancy board member serves as chairman. If after that process, there's an additional 15 days added to that process. If after that 30-day period, the board cannot decide, the additional 15 days where the vacancy board cannot decide, then the vacancy board chairman would request that the Court of Common Pleas appoint a supervisor to fill the vacancy.
And to be clear, the vacancy is going to be filled by application and interview, a public interview.
Everything's
That'll occur at a public meeting.
correct. Everything's done publicly, including the interview. I would request that you be of the opinion that the board requests that interested parties submit a covering letter and a resume by date certain once vacancy is created. All interviews would be done publicly. Any deliberations would be done publicly, and the decision would be done publicly. By publicly, I mean at an advertised public meeting.
Okay.
Just a bit, I think it bears repeating. The statement is not in that resignation. He still has to resign. It's not official until that statement.
My understanding is that he's alerting the board to his intent to,
not a
he's going to be moving out of the township in the near future. That would trigger the written resignation letter. And then you have 45 days from that date to accept the resignation. I know with holidays coming up and things like that, it may be, you may want to utilize the entire 45 days, but that's going to be up to the board to decide when they would accept that day.
Before I forget to do so, I want to thank you. It's not easy running. It's not easy making the decision. It's not easy sitting here. You have given your 100% of your attention and your energy to this, and I appreciate it. I do wish that you were able to continue longer. I have disappointment, but not in you. Disappointment in circumstance, not in you as a person. You and I have reflected privately on that, and I appreciate who you are and what you've done. It's unfortunate that we have to move on from here, but that's what we have to do. So for what's best for the township is what's best for the township here. So we will, I presume, Sonny and I will meet in executive session over the next week or so to hammer out some things and to have further conversation on how we want to proceed from here. The public will absolutely be inundated as best we can with information about what the application process looks like, about what the hearing dates will be, about how we move forward from here. But I will tell you on behalf of Sonny and myself, and I'll let you jump in and come, we're going to do what's best for this township every day, 24 hours a day, every day of the week. And we're not going to let things slip. We're going to keep moving forward. This is just a small bump in the road as we keep moving towards a better day.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Julian, I know this can't be an easy decision, so I understand, and I wish you the best in your decision, and I'm sure moving forward. And Jeff, obviously we're going to have to work together to get through. I think it's an interesting time with everything else going on, but we will get there.
Yeah.
So I have no concern about that, but I appreciate the support. It's going to be interesting time for everyone, us, the staff. It doesn't, it impacts us all, but I think we will get through it.
All right. Anything else?
Mic drop moment.
Yeah, I would say no is the right answer there. So we're courtesy of the floor, public comment. Anybody have anything to say? Yeah, come on up.
Hi, my name is Lucille Tina Prattle. I own the Queensville Hotel. And my concern is the Blue Barn and Memorial Road stop sign that was taken down. That is so dangerous. None of us can go out. You even put a sign, do not block intersection. It's still blocked. It didn't do anything for any of us coming down that road down there. None of us. You can't even make a right to go straight across to CVS. You can't get in the left lane to turn left onto Tillman. You cannot do nothing. I have pages of signatures here. I mean, it is just horrible. It's horrible that you remove that stop sign. I think. We all think it.
Okay.
And is there anything that can possibly be done there? Possibly. I mean, this is what I read here, okay? This is what I want you to hear. Due to the proximity of the signalized intersection at Tillman Street results in unnecessary delay, driver non-compliance, intersection blockage, and that adequate sight distance currently exists for Memorial Road. Removal of this stop sign from northbound approach on Blue Barn Road was to reduce driver confusion and improve traffic flow. So in other words, you're telling me that everybody that's going through that stop sign, blocking that intersection, just got a prize. They don't have to do that anymore. I don't mean to be mean, but this is what this is exactly what this says to me that the township sent me. You know, so you're telling me that everybody that doesn't stop there and blocks the intersection, it's okay. But now what's going to happen is every one of us, that they're from the karate studio, every one of us coming down that back road, that Memorial Road, we're going to have to sit in the middle of the intersection. And these people coming that had a stop sign, they don't have one anymore, they're flying. They're just flying up the road to us. I think it was a really bad mistake, personally. I really do. And so does the rest of the street, the rest of the neighbors. Everybody does. Excuse me? And our customers, all of our customers. I mean, there's no way to get out. Have you ever been there? I mean, have you ever tried to get out there? Now there's no stop sign. With the stop sign, we couldn't get out. Everyone's just looking at me like I'm crazy. I mean, seriously, does anybody want to say anything here? But I'm telling you, we couldn't get out with the stop sign. Now there's no stop sign. Nothing has changed. Everybody's in the middle of the road. You can't go anywhere.
I guess Ryan, from the engineering perspective.
Yeah, just to give a little history, the Town Place Suites, when it came through the land development process a number of years ago, their engineer recommended removal of that stop sign. Your previous municipal engineer agreed with that, but requested that it be done once the hotel opens. So as the board directed us last year, we performed an after study to take a look at the situation and come up with our own decision on what we think should happen with that stop sign. Our traffic engineering group decided that it was not needed. And we made the
I was there with
recommendation
them.
Hold
to
on,
the
hold on,
township.
ma'am. It's okay. And I understand that this is, we didn't interrupt you, so we're going to let him go. And we're going to give you the
Okay.
back and forth
It's
because I
okay.
know it's a personal issue to you, but
I'm
let's
used
just
to it.
make sure that everybody gets through what they're saying.
So it
Okay.
was our recommendation to the board and township staff that the stop sign should be removed this past spring.
Okay. And when was it removed?
I don't know the exact date. It was, Scott, do you remember?
Approximately a month
April?
ago. Yeah, last
April or
month.
May.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So we did do a review of that. We did do an engineering review,
Correct.
essentially a traffic study of that intersection to determine, and your
We
team
did a crash
determined-
history analysis as well, and we did not find that the removal of that stop sign would create an unsafe condition.
Okay. And what kind of work would be involved in doing a post-removal follow-up study to see if we've created a dangerous condition there now?
I will say one of the things we noticed during our study last fall is that the stop sign was not being, I'm not going to say the word enforced, was not stopping people.
We had a compliance
They
issue.
were running through. There was a compliance issue, correct. So people were just running right through to catch the green light when they could at Tillman Street. That was one of the factors that factored into our decision as well.
Okay. What, just from a cost perspective, Ryan, what kind of cost are we talking about a follow-up? How much did that study roughly give us, and how much would it take to sort of do a post-removal study to see if there's an error has been made, just to try to see if there's something that we can do?
Right.
That, if we made a mistake, we made a mistake, but
If you're looking for like how much it would cost us to do it,
yeah,
put in on spot, I would say $2,000-3,000.
2 or 3,
Yes.
May I say this?
please.
I was there when they were doing this study. I was outside with them, talking with them. And as we were talking, we're going, there they go, there they go, there they go. There they sit in the middle of the road. And that's what the traffic survey did. Just said that everybody went through the stop sign and everybody blocked the road. So we gave them a go ahead and we just let them go now. The stop sign is not like very, I don't even know if there was a white line on the road for them at that time.
I don't recall. What kind of white?
There was a white line. They put it up for me now, for us.
We're talking about a stop bar.
Yes.
Yeah, stop bar.
Yes.
I believe there was a stop bar for northbound Blue Barn Road.
Okay.
And we
well-
did recommend a stop bar on Memorial Drive. Correct.
Yeah. But the stop sign is not very visible. I mean, it's just sitting on the side. There's trees there, you know. I'm not saying you can't see it, but I'm saying everybody's seeing the light ahead of them and they're just zooming right through.
Plus, with the new stop sign, with the redesigned intersection over the last year, it's now back-to-back stop signs, which logically you think it can't mean that. I'm going to keep going through it.
Correct.
I drive that intersection plenty. I know
It's terrible. It's terrible. We can't get out.
Okay.
I
So
mean, is there any way to put maybe a flashing stop sign there for them that alerted them that they had to stop there? And the white bar, so they have to stop.
So Lucille, it's not something that I can say it's
Oh,
done.
no, I know that.
It's
I
a-
understand that, but it's a thought.
Right,
You know what I
it-
mean?
it's-
It's a
it's-
thought I had.
You can put a flasher on a stop sign, but I think PennDOT only allows it for like 30 days. Just
Yeah,
to
PennDOT has
warn
to
you of a
approve
new
it.
one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a process. We went through a process to remove it. If you're asking us to to do a process to put it back in, I think at a $2,000-3,000 cost, I'm not adverse to that. It's a matter of figuring out. I want to touch base with staff and touch base with Mike and touch base with everybody else before I commit to anything.
From what I'm hearing you say, when the stop sign was there, people ran the stop sign and blocked the intersection.
Block the intersection, correct.
Stop sign's gone and people are still going through and blocking the
But
intersection.
now they're going twice as fast. Twice as fast. They're just zooming. I mean, they're really moving through there. You know.
So without
maybe it's a bit of an enforcement issue for at least for a while. Try something.
Is that something, Mike, we can put someone, I mean, yeah, please come on up. Just got to do me a favor and introduce yourself for us.
Yeah, my wife and I, we own a food private cafe, which is at the end of the road of Memorial. We've been there for 25 years. And yes, you're right, the township's growing, the area's expanding, the traffic's increasing. The number one thing is line of sight. And if you look at PennDOT, that's one of the things that warrants a stop sign, is line of sight. Can't see. So if you're coming out, it's a major risk to make a right or a left. Or if you're coming up to Tillman and going west and you want to make a left on Route 1, my wife almost got hit the other day. I mean, the traffic's crazy. At least a stop sign gives you the authority to call the authorities in and say, hey, they're not stopping. But a yield sign allows people to just go through at will. It increases the traffic flow and nobody slows down. At least when you had a stop sign, you had the right of way. If you were making a left, they have to stop. They don't anymore. They don't care. So with 150 members of parents and grandparents, uncles, and little children coming out between rush hour, 5 and 6 o'clock, it's a major risk of an accident that's going to happen and somebody's going to get hurt. They just do not respect that specific traffic flow anyway. So my suggestion is if you put the stop sign up, at least you have the authority to call the police in and say, could you please stop these people and make a couple arrests or citations? With a yield, you don't have that. That's just my point of view. Thank you.
And I would gladly let you park behind my building to try to catch them when they go through it.
Well, right now there's nothing to catch because the stop sign's not there, right?
Well, they can't block the intersection.
Right. Right.
Right, they are blocking the
So
intersection still.
there may be some monitoring that we can do in the next 30 days.
I mean, I don't know
Just
if-
sort of, it's okay. There may be some monitoring we can do, having Mike here alerting that maybe we can have somebody park there in the hours. And I didn't catch your name, sir. That Tim mentioned about 5 to 6:30 when we have a lot of exit out of the Hoover Academy there to make sure that we are paying attention. And then Ryan and Bob, maybe you all can touch base to see if if you want to recommend that we do a study again to see if it needs to come back in post removal. And then maybe we can put this back on an agenda next month and see what we can do. But the only way, listen, the only way that you get our attention to these things is keep coming and yelling at us. So please keep coming and yelling at us. And we, as much as I don't like people yelling. It's no, it's appropriate and appreciated.
All right.
Sometimes that's the only way to get people's attention. You're
I'm
doing
really not, I'm not nasty. You know that. Yeah, I'm not, no. But this was like,
Pete bought a car tonight. He can't be trusted with his
I know,
opinion.
I was gonna say something, but I thought, nope, I'm not saying a word.
So my point was to say this: keep coming back and telling us where you think we need to do better.
Okay.
And we'll listen.
Okay, thank you.
So-
Would you like any of these signature papers or
Uh,
anybody want?
You can
any?
go ahead and
Sure.
you can
Yeah,
bring them
you
up.
can bring
here.
'em up.
You
Yeah,
can
we'll
bring
take
'em
'em.
up. May I say something?
Please do.
So I'm just going to make sure I understood what I said here. So we've got a complaint here. We haven't decided what we're going to do. I mean,
No.
at this point, there's nothing other than maybe
Mike's gonna
check it out. I guess the question is that I'm trying to make it a little simpler. So we had it before. I think there was a request to take them out, so we looked at that. Was there ever any problem when the stop sign was there? Were there any issues?
As far as crashes
Or just,
complaints?
the reason for why we removed it in the first place, other than,
Well, it's because you removed a leg of the intersection. It was no longer, well, at that point, it was a 3-stop at a 4-leg
Yeah,
intersection. Once you realigned it, you didn't have those conflicts anymore from Memorial Drive, lefts
okay.
and throughs.
I know we kept it because we wanted to see how much traffic was coming out of the hotel, right?
Well, no, you wanted to see potentially the hotel's impacts on that area. Hotels don't generate that much traffic. But as I indicated, the township, basically as part of the land development, agreed that the stop sign should be removed and that a post-study should occur. And that's where we're at now. And I discussed this with the board back, I think it was September or
Okay.
October. And you guys authorized us to perform that and work with township staff. And we did.
All right. So right now, you're going to police are going to evaluate the situation, just make sure they're not blocking the interchange.
Correct. Yeah, we can take a look at it.
And then come
I don't
back.
recall, crashes at that intersection or, many over the years, none that, stick out, or complaints for that matter.
Okay, I'm just
We'll
trying
take a look at it.
Okay, and the reason why I'm asking is rather than spend another couple $1,000 on another study, could we just have you look at it and just give us an assessment first of all to see if
That was the intention.
yeah, that's all, because I'm not sure.
It was my intention, Sonny, was to have Mike take a look at it, but then Bob and Ryan talk internally before we we take action.
All right, I just want to make sure I heard it right.
Yep.
All right.
We're good.
And it also does state on what I received here, stop sign removed from Blue Barn for a minimum of 60 days.
Should I say it again?
It's been removed for a minimum of 60 days.
It says that for a minimum of 60 days. I don't know if that meant it would be back after another traffic study was done, but this is what I received from the township.
I think it just means that for a minimum of 60 days, it's going to be removed. And then maybe there's some options available to us. But this is the first time I've seen that. So let us take a look internally. Sure.
I have that. I copied it off of whoever sent me the email.
Okay. So we'll take a look at this. Best I can give you tonight is we're going to take a look at it internally. Mike's going to take a look to make sure there's some safety concerns. He can report those. And if we don't do anything, keep coming back and yelling at us.
Okay, I won't holler at you. I'm sorry.
That's
that I
all right.
get a little worked up.
We ran for office for the purpose of being yelled at. So that's good.
No, you didn't. No, but thank you very much, everyone. I
We appreciate you. Thank you, Lucille.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? All right. Seeing that, I will make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 8:48.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.
I know that.